Vande Mataram to all. Financial education is more valuable than the money itself. That is the philosophy that every common man must live by in today's economy. The government is aiding financial independence and education amongst the youth regarding the careers and growing job opportunities present in this field. And with financial powers and status tremendously increasing for each and every citizen of our country, it is imperative for our generation, filled with budding entrepreneurs, CAs, bankers, etc., to learn about investments, insurance, and the economy. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the agenda for today's financial literacy workshop that aims to educate our audience. I would now like to invite Tarini to introduce our guest for the event.
Vande Mataram. I am proud to welcome our esteemed guest, Mr. Narendra Kumar Bharindwal. Sir, we are honored to have you join us today. Mr. Bharindwal is the Director and Vice President of the Insurance Brokers Association of India, IBAI, which is the sole representative body of licensed insurance brokers of India and is a part of the Council of Asia Pacific Brokers Association and the Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry. Sir, I invite you to impart your knowledge and wisdom to our audience, which will surely enable them to make wise and informed decisions about their financial futures. Thank you.
Vande Mataram, and thank you to Seth MR Jaipuria School management for giving us the opportunity to interact with all of you here. As rightly introduced by your student colleague, financial education, financial literacy, and insurance education is a vital cog in the education ecosystem of our country. And children who are in the grades 8 to 12, if they get exposure to this at this age, I'm sure it will help them guide not only in financial planning for themselves, but also guide on career path, how to choose a career path in the banking, financial, and insurance industry ecosystem. So in this regard, our association, Insurance Brokers Association of India, started this journey of reaching out to school children in high schools and educating them, bringing in the needed insurance education awareness, and not only awareness about insurance but also career opportunity in the insurance sector. Because if insurance penetration in the country has to grow, if acceptance of insurance as a product and service in this country has to go, we need people to get employment in the insurance sector also. So with that brief introductory thing, I'll go to my presentation. So in order to understand insurance, we first need to understand what is risk. So this is a brief explanation about risk. Risk is basically uncertainty about situations and outcomes. It can be unpredictable event which leads to loss or damage. This is a English language thing, more everyday way of telling what risk is. If you're riding a bike without a helmet, the probability of you getting injured if you fall is higher. Having said that, if you're riding a bike with the helmet also, the probability of an accident or fall is not ruled out. But the probability of you not getting injured is higher with the helmet. So that's basic thing about risk. What kind of risks we are exposed to as individuals and as businesses, as organizations. So when it comes to an individual person, we are exposed to injury to self, loss of life, emergency hospitalization due to ailments, sicknesses that may happen. This is what happens to an individual. Other type of risk that we are exposed to from household as a unit, theft, burglary, which can happen in our houses. It can also happen in our business premises. It can also happen in an institution like yours. It's not ruled out. Fire accidents and natural calamities, these are risks that we are exposed to. Product liability, this is a technical product related to liability insurance. Insufficient retirement funds, people earn money, spend on their lifestyle, spend on their everything, don't save. So when you retire, you don't have anything with you. So that's also a risk. Employment and contractual liability, this is with to This is to do with organizations who employ people, and when they are exposed to liabilities, when they're having people under employment with them. Technology is a big threat and big risk today. Then third-party liabilities. What potential loss does risk represent? So there are three types of loss risks represent. One is the immediate financial loss that you have. Financial loss due to loss of life of a person. Financial loss due to you falling sick and getting hospitalization. Financial loss if your business premises catches fire. Financial loss if your goods in transit, burglary happens or theft happens. That's what happens. Physical loss is death or injury to a person. Meet with an accident, you're injured. Loss of limbs, loss of eyes. This is what is physical loss. Then emotional loss. Of course, when there is injury, there is an emotional touch point also. When there is loss of life in a family, there is an emotional issue over there. So there is grief. So insurance cannot provide solutions for the third type of risk. We can give you something with financial and physical losses. So why is risk important for insurance? Because insurance is a contract, and any contract, to provide certainty, there has to be some tangible item or issue to be covered. So that's why. And insurance transfers the risk from individual organization, or the insurance policy transfers the risk from the individual or the organization to the insurance company. That's what the insurance company does. So, and that is transferred under various types of insurance policies, which we will cover when we are going further. And what it helps, so this is what makes you also decide what risk I can transfer to an insurance company or what risk I can retain as an individual and as an organization. For example, your school, your premises, I'm sure they also will be having some kind of insurance cover. Insurance cover for the vehicles ferrying you to the school, those will be insured, which is mandated by law. There may be some form of insurance cover for the premises. There may be some form of insurance cover covering third-party liability. I am a third party who's walked into your school today. Suppose I slip and fall down somewhere, and that happens because of negligence of maintenance. I can sue your school for damages. So that's kind of a third-party liability insurance we talk about. So these are the kind of risks, So every organization and individual has various types of insurance products, fundamentally to de-risk themselves, so that your personal balance sheet, your personal savings, or your organization's balance sheet or savings are not affected by it. And insurance companies also will not underwrite any type of risk. They will understand what the risk is, and if it meets the parameters of underwriting, we call, when an insurance company accepts your risk and issues a policy, that process is called underwriting. So they will understand your risk, and if they fit within the parameters of the framework, then only they'll accept it and issue the policy for the same. So that is what it is. And then there's a price for it. Nothing is free. You have to pay premium for getting your risk covered. And why insurance? Very important thing. Because insurance, it does not reduce the probability of a risk. But what insurance does is, it reduces the financial loss or damage that can occur because of that. So hence, you need to have insurance. And this can happen for any kind of a thing. It could be a road traffic accident when you are using a vehicle and you hit somebody else. Immediate thing is damage to your vehicle. That's a financial loss. You hit somebody else, or that person is injured, then there's liability of that third person on you. So all those things get covered by an insurance product or a policy. It helps you to manage the financial impact and loss that could happen due to it. In certain insurances are mandatory, like we mentioned, motor insurance or workman compensation. For industries, we call public liability insurance. These are mandatory insurance by law, which you need to have. If you don't have these insurances, then you will face penalty from the concerned departments. And then buying certain types of insurance also helps you in tax planning. If your parents are buying life insurance for themselves, or they're buying life insurance to fund your higher education, that helps in their tax planning. If they buy health insurance for themselves and for you all, it helps them in getting the Section 80D deduction. So all these things help in tax planning. In India, insurance is divided into two categories broadly. life insurance and general insurance. So life insurance, in our technical language, we call it is a benefit-based product. What do we mean by benefit-based product? In the event of loss of life or injury, the compensation is being given to you. So general insurance is generally, also we have got indemnity-based products and benefit-based products. So what we mean by indemnity means trying to make good the loss before the incident or the accident occurred. When an incident happens or accident happens, there is a financial loss that's happening. So the indemnity policy will, at best, try to minimize your financial loss, and that's what that will pay. So, for example, health insurance is a indemnity-based product. When you fall sick and you're hospitalized, so there is your medical expenses that you incurred. So your medical insurance policy will give you that on a cashless basis or on a reimbursement basis. So it's minimizing your financial loss. I cannot take care of your health, but I can take care of the financial component that comes because you fall sick. So that's an indemnity-based product. We have a product in health, in general insurance called a personal accident product. The personal accident product is a benefit-based product because it gives compensation in case of death or disability. It is not paying for the expenses, but it is giving you compensation. So those are defined. Apart from that, under general insurance, we have got fire insurance, marine insurance, engineering insurance, liability insurance. These are various insurances which give cover to commercial and non-commercial organizations, basically. They also can give coverage. Fire insurance can be bought even for your house, so that in the event there is a fire incident happening and your house is damaged, your furniture is damaged, everything, then the policy will pay compensation for that. As I said, classification of insurance in India is under two categories. Life insurance, we have got broadly three products: term life, endowment product, and unit-linked insurance product, we call it. Term life is a pure risk product. So if you buy a term insurance cover, in the event the policyholder dies, then the nominee of the policyholder gets the compensation. So this is basically trying to provide a corpus for your family or your dependents after you're gone. Endowment product is a savings product. So you plan for your savings for the defined term, you make your investments, and when it matures, the maturity money is paid back to you, which can be used for your financial planning activities. Unit-linked insurance product, this product is more of a investment product again, but it's linked with the stock market. So all your investments get into the stock market or in the plan that you choose. It could go into equities, it can go into bonds, it can go into liquid funds. And then as the market performs, your fund value also grows. And again, when the defined period is completed, the tenure for which you have taken, you get the maturity benefits for the thing. In general insurance, we broadly cover fire, marine, and miscellaneous. These are broad categories. So fire, as I said, fire is fire and allied perils. We call it a fire and allied perils policy. So it not only covers fire accidents, it also covers storm, flood, natural calamities. It also provides coverage due to riots, strikes, malicious damage. It also provides coverage due to terrorism activities. It also provides coverage when earthquake strikes, so on and so forth. So these are the, fire is a generic term, but it gives coverage to various other policies. It's a very detailed and technically thing. Marine insurance is generally considered, marine means anything over seas or over water. But we call it transit insurance cover. It is given to businesses and organizations when they are moving goods from A point to B point, whether by road, whether by sea, whether by river, or whether by air. So marine insurance is the first insurance which started off in the late 1500 or 1600 in the Lloyd's market in UK. That's the history of that. So if you decide to take insurance as a career path, then you learn about all these things. Under miscellaneous insurance, we talk about health, which is providing coverage for your health, engineering, for factories, manufacturing units and everything, liability defined into various things, commercial general liability, public liability, product liability, so on and so forth, and motor insurance. Under motor insurance, we've got two components. One is damage to your vehicle and third-party liability. Third-party liability in a motor insurance is mandated by law. In India, whenever you buy a motor vehicle, whether a two-wheeler or a car or even a commercial vehicle, you have to have this third-party liability cover, without which your vehicle will never go for registration to the RTO. So that's mandated by law. And this third-party liability provides coverage for third-party death, disability, and property damage, all three components. Life stages and requirement of insurance. When do you require insurance and why do you require insurance? When you're a child, your parents will definitely have a health insurance for you in case you fall sick or something happens, you're hospitalized. That financial benefit or the financial loss that happens to it, that will be covered under that thing. And also when you're a child, your parents could plan for your higher education. They can plan for your marriage. They can make investments through life insurance products to create a corpus, basically, to give you education, to plan for your marriage, and so on and so forth. And then when you yourself have completed your graduation, post-graduation, specialization, and get into jobs, then you buy a car for yourself, you need to buy insurance for your car, or you buy a two-wheeler, you need to buy insurance. Nowadays, people have got the craze of the heavy vehicles, Royal Enfield and Indian, so on and so forth. So you need to insure them also. Your home, you may buy a beautiful flat somewhere. So you need to ensure that it is insured. And then when you are earning, like we are earning now, we also have to plan about our retirement, not only for ourselves, but if we fall sick after we retire, we need to plan about that. So all this happens only when we are earning. So what happens when someone's car meets with an accident and is injured? When an accident happens, a car meets with an accident, the car is damaged. Maybe the driver in the car, he's injured. People traveling in the car, passengers, they may also be injured. Or there may be death also due to the accident. Then in case you have collided with another vehicle, then there is a third-party property damage. And the third party who's driving that vehicle, if that driver or the passenger of that car, they meet with injuries, so then that is third-party bodily injury. And if the other vehicle also with whom you collided, if they die, then that is third-party death. So your motor vehicle policy gives a comprehensive coverage where it covers damage to your car because of the accident. When it is met, the other vehicle is met, that is third-party property, that is covered in your policy. If there is injury to third-party passengers, drivers, they also are covered under your policy. That's called third-party liability cover. Then there is something called personal accident insurance. Personal accident insurance policy, as I said, is a benefit-based product which gives compensation in the event of an accidental death or disability due to accidental injury. And under that, there are various components to it. We give coverage for permanent disability. We give coverage for permanent partial disability. We give coverage for total temporary disability. So in the event I meet with an accident, I lose a limb. So that's a permanent disability. So I will get a compensation if I have a personal accident insurance policy for myself. I meet with an accident and I am temporarily disabled, fracture. My hand is fractured, my leg is fractured. I am temporarily disabled. So then in that case also, I will get compensation from my personal accident policy. Then there is called temporary total disability. So this fractures is something like that. Permanent partial disability, I lose my limbs. These are permanent but partial disabilities, not full disabilities. So in that case also, I will give compensation from my personal accident insurance policy. Health insurance. Under health insurance, we've got two types of health insurance policies. So health insurance is an indemnity-based policy, as I said earlier. What does indemnity means? Indemnity means that it will make good your financial loss. I cannot make good your health, though. But the financial loss that you had due to hospitalization, maybe I had a heart attack and had to undergo surgery. So my expenses towards that has been paid by the insurance policy. So my financial loss has been taken care of. The health I'll have to manage, listen to my doctor, have better lifestyle, and so on and so forth. Again, there is a critical illness policy in health insurance. What that does, there are named critical illnesses from almost 10 to 40 critical illnesses. Your heart, your liver, your lungs, pancreases, so on and so forth. if I acquire any critical illness and there is a specific survival period mentioned in that, if I survive that particular period, then that entire money is given to me as a compensation, which can be used by me or my family members towards the lifestyle changes that will come because of the critical ailment that I have acquired. My health insurance policy will pay my hospital expenses, but this is a benefit policy which will give me the compensation which I can use for my lifestyle changes that will come due to the ailment. Motor insurance, as I told you, in motor insurance there are two components. Third-party liability, which is mandated by law. If you buy a new vehicle, you have to buy third-party insurance. If you don't buy third-party insurance, your vehicle will not go in for registration itself. And if it does not registered, you can't use your vehicle on the roads. And then that is own damage, which is optional. All right? So third-party liability has got three components: third-party death, third-party disability, and third-party property damage. So in Indian law, third-party death and disability, the liability is unlimited. So in case I'm driving a car, I meet with an accident, and because of it, a third party has been injured and he dies. If he dies, his family can sue me for damages. So that will go to the court. There's a specific court called Motor Accidents Claims Tribunal. It will go to that court. From that court, the court will decide what compensation has to be given to the person. There are various factors that determine the quantum of compensation, the earnings of the person, what was his last salary that he has drawn, so on and so forth. Then in case the person has got disabled because of the accident and he's got a permanent disability, then also again the decision will happen through MSAT and they'll give a compensation for the disability that he is in. On property damage, now I damage somebody else's car. Of course, other car also would have insurance, but the other it is determined that I am at fault. So that person can sue me for damages to his car. So that portion also will be paid as a property damage cover in my motor insurance policy. I go bang into a compound wall of your school. Your school's compound wall is damaged. That's property damage. Your school can sue me and claim damages from my insurance policy. So all these settlements happen through the Motor Accidents Claims Tribunal. Coming to career opportunities in the insurance sector. The Indian insurance sector is rapidly growing. There are three stages to India's insurance sector. One we call is the pre-nationalization sector. When India got independent in 1947, there were more than 130 or 160 insurance companies operating, and were all in the private domain. So Government of India decided that as insurance is not reaching to the common masses and everything, they nationalized insurance companies in 1971. So we call it the nationalization era. So from 1947 till 1971, we were in a private domain. From 1971, that's when nationalization happened, and 5 insurance companies were formed. The General Insurance Corporation of India was formed. Then we had 4 public sector insurance companies. New India Assurance Company headquartered in Bombay, Oriental Insurance Company headquartered in Delhi, National Insurance Company headquartered in Calcutta, Oriental Insurance Company headquartered in Chennai. United India Insurance Company headquartered in Chennai. These 4 general insurance companies were created, and a mammoth Life Insurance Corporation of India was created, LIC. LIC is the largest life insurance company in India, and I think it must be the 3rd or 4th largest life insurance company in the world also. So this is what happened, but Government of India thought that post 1991, when India embarked on a reforms journey. So when liberalization started, that's the time government decided to liberalize and open up various industries for private sector. So in 2000, Government of India decided that we should open insurance sector for private sector. And that's how private sector insurance companies have come. And today we have roughly around 56 insurance companies operating in India, apart from the 4 public sector general insurance companies and government-owned life insurance corporation. Apart from that, we have got 51 private sector insurance companies, both in life, general and health insurance space. So this privatization has created a huge opportunity, career opportunity in the insurance sector in various domains. So we'll just briefly discuss that. And now, today as we speak, in this session of Parliament, government proposes to increase foreign direct investment in insurance sector to 100%. If that happens, we may have another 20-30 insurance companies coming into India in the next 5 to 10 years' time. So that will again open a lot of career opportunities. What is in it for you if you decide to become an insurance professional? You can do insurance sales and marketing just like what I do as an insurance broker. Two of my colleagues are here. They are from Lucknow. They also are into insurance intermediary space. You can become a technical expert and you can get into underwriting. Underwriting is where you assess what kind of risks are there and you price those risks. What kind of price? Pricing the risk is called premium insurance. Underwriting is activity of understanding the risk and pricing the risk. The value that comes is known as insurance premium payable for that risk. Then the most important part of insurance policy is claims. That's the moment of truth of our product. Unlike any other product or service where there is instant gratification or defined gratification, the moment of truth of our product is only when there is death, disability, disease, disaster, and despair. That's the moment of truth of our product. So that's what we call as insurance claims. So you can become a claims adjuster, claims manager. You evaluate and you process insurance claims and ensure timely settlements to the policyholders. Actuarial science. This is a little more technical. To become an actuary, you have to be very good in statistics. You have to basically be a statistician to become an actuary. And this is, again, a postgraduate program. It's not a undergraduate or graduate program. It's a post-graduation program. You can do risk management. You can become a risk analyst. Many people do the risk analyst job. For that, you need to have specific qualifications to become risk analyst. It's a very, very important thing. A risk analyst also identifies newer markets for insurance company, where the insurance companies have not reached or where the policyholder or the prospective policyholder has not got an adequate insurance solution. Then you can get into insurance operations. Operations also is there, overseeing day-to-day thing, issuance of policy, customer service, customer grievances, customer queries, support, and so on and so forth. Information technology is the buzzword. I was just talking to your school management colleague, Ms. Deepa Wahi, earlier. So we are from a generation where we have seen technology evolve. We have from landline phones and now we have come to handheld devices. You guys are in full-fledged technology. Next, you're going to be in artificial intelligence, machine learning, so on and so forth. So there is great scope in that. And it's going to ensure, all organizations, even insurance companies, insurance intermediaries are going to adopt technology in a big way. Already adoption has happened and this is only going to become increasingly more. So you can become a professional, information technology professional, artificial intelligence professional who can provide the design. You can become a data scientist who can analyze data for the insurance industry and, get job over there. Legal and compliance, since insurance is a contract, and contract is governed by the Indian Contracts Act, which is law. So legal, law and compliance both are important. You can do your LLB and become a legal compliance head or process associate in an insurance company, or for an intermediary also for that matter. Or you can become a lawyer and specialize only in insurance litigation, because a lot of insurance claims go into litigation. Then you can become a customer service representative, which is a entry-level designation, and then you can specialize in that and ensure that you deliver customer delight. Investment in finance, since a large part of insurance is also financial planning through life insurance, you can also become get into that area, become investment analyst, managing, observing markets, and advising prospective policyholders. You can become a health insurance specialist, advising standalone only on health insurance, and there is a great scope for growth in health insurance. Post-COVID, pandemic 2020, one segment in insurance has grown is health insurance. It has been growing in double digit, I think 17, 18, 20% per annum. You can see that in the growth of the standalone health insurance companies. Reinsurance. Reinsurance is another specialized subject. This is providing insurance cover to the insurance companies. And then there are other areas, corporate communication and marketing, training and development. Everybody needs to know what they're getting into, product knowledge, process knowledge, people knowledge, everything. So training and development will happen. Your teachers in school are giving you basic level, academic level things. But once you come into the industry, into the marketplace, then you need to probably get into some specialized areas. As we said earlier, actuarial science. Actuarial science is basically understanding the financial models of the risks of the insurance companies and the potential opportunity in the market. So this is a highly technical thing. So to pursue a career in the insurance sector, you require various qualifications. You can become a law professional and get into insurance sector. You can become a chartered accountant, get into insurance sector. You can become a cost accountant, get into insurance sector. You can become a company secretary and get into insurance sector and look after the company secretarial and compliance activities. You can become a marketing guy. You can become a marketing person for the insurance company, or you can become a marketing guy for an insurance intermediary like agents, corporate agents, insurance brokers, so on and so forth. So there are a lot of things, roles, and we are a dynamic industry. We are growing. We are the only industry which has been deemed as a sunrise sector in the country. We are going to grow. If these numbers make any sense to you, 31st March 2024, the general insurance industry did close to 2,90,000 crores in premium, and it is projected to be 4 lakh crores by 2026, and maybe 10 lakh crores by 2035. So huge growth is going to happen over here. Because government is very serious about increasing insurance penetration, our regulator has given a vision, like how Prime Minister has given vision for Atmanirbhar Bharat and Viksit Bharat by 2047. The sector's role is to ensure each and every person, each and every business in the country is under ambit of insurance on or before 2047. So that's the thing. So there is tremendous growth and potential over here. Some interesting facts about insurance. Maybe it's been a boring subject. I know some people are yawning and going here, and I can understand that. But then so there is some interesting fact also. Jackie Chan, he's a stuntman, no? Many of you have seen his movies also. After a point, insurance companies stopped giving insurance cover to him. Because in every movie that he is doing and the stunts he's doing, he's getting injured. And insurance company end up paying huge compensation. So he is one guy who stopped getting insurance cover after a particular point. Amitabh Bachchan got his voice insured and copyrighted so that it cannot be used for unethical business promotions. Similarly, Rajnikant, Talaiva of South India, or superstar from South, not South, from down South, he also got his voice insured and both copyrighted. Even Lata Mangeshkar had insurance for her voice. Highly technical for many of course for all of you, because you're still in schools and all. But when pandemic hit the world in 2020, COVID-19, so everybody thought that their businesses who have bought this under business insurance cover, we have something known as business interruption cover. In case my business is interrupted by any natural calamity, fire accident, or any pandemic or epidemic kind of a situation, I can claim loss of profit cover for myself, for my organization. So everybody was under the impression that if business interruption happens and because of the pandemic, they would get that claim. But unfortunately, that was not the reality, because pandemic was a specific exclusion. But Wimbledon as an organization was the only organization globe in the world which had bought specific pandemic cover from last 17, 18 years. And due to that, they had paid almost $1.5 million in premium. And due to that, when the pandemic hit and the 2020 event got cancelled, they got $141 million in compensation. So thank you for the time and opportunity. If time permits, madam, we can take some Q&A can happen.
When the pandemic hit, would it be considered a disaster, or would any deaths caused by it be insured by life insurance? Because some people can say that because it's a widespread disaster from China, that it can come under fire insurance as well.
So now let us divide that into three categories. When pandemic hit, what happened immediately? People fell sick, people lost lives. So people who died because of pandemic and who had life insurance cover, their families got the compensation. It was not denied to them. People who got hospitalized when they got COVID-19, health insurance companies or if they were covered under a health insurance policy, their claims were paid. So only during the pandemic, the industry paid close to 35,000 crores in claims, in health insurance claims. And maybe around 8 to 10,000 crores was given in life insurance claims to deaths that happened. When it came to businesses, as we mentioned the Wimbledon example we gave over here, you need to have a business interruption cover along with your property insurance cover. And in the event that business interruption cover had pandemic cover in it, then you would have been entitled for loss of profits. Otherwise, no organization got any loss of profit or loss of revenue cover because of pandemic. Life insurance, yes. Health insurance, yes. But on the business side, no.
Sir, you talked about third-person liability insurance, and you gave the example like if you or any person comes to our school and falls, so you can sue the school. So, sir, can you explain that procedure once again? Because how can you hold the infrastructure liable for a personal like a mistake of slipping or something?
So there is a concept of third-party liability, okay, and that is covered under a commercial general liability insurance policy. We call it CGL. So what CGL covers? CGL gives coverage for third-party bodily death injury in your business or your office premises. In case, as I said, I came to your office, to your school, I slipped and fell down. Maybe there's water over there or there was a tile that was broken and everything. So that I am claiming damages on account of shoddy maintenance. The contractor of the school was supposed to provide, the housekeeping staff of the school was supposed to ensure that everything is clean and all that. And I came and felt it was no fault of mine. Now maybe that incident was destined, that's a separate story. But I came to your school, I slipped, I fell down, I injured myself. And then because of my injury, what else has happened to me? I am not able to attend to my work, so loss of wages for me. I injured myself, so there is medical expenses cost that comes to me. Pain, suffering, trauma to my family. I have come all the way from Bangalore over here. Nobody is there to attend to me. My wife is there at home. My son is there at home. So on and so forth. So many things happened because of one incident. And I am blaming that because there was shoddy maintenance or no proper maintenance and all happening over here. And I am entitled for damages. So I will sue your school or the end organization that manages this school. If the school has a CGL policy in place, this compensation will be paid. This is a little touchy subject, but last few years we have seen a lot of sexual harassment issues coming up in schools. Complaints maybe on faculty members, complaints on support staff and everything. In Bangalore at least we have come across 3-4 such issues. So what happens because of that? There is bad press, very bad press, all right? There is a crisis. The management is under tremendous stress and everything. And immediately what happens? The management or the school may not be directly responsible for that act of omission commission by a person who may be part of the staff or may be part of the outsourced staff. But this encompasses liability on the school itself or liability on the organization. Immediately what you have to do, you need to have a crisis management team who is going to address this issue. You need to hire a lawyer or law firm who will defend you in the court of law. We have seen incidents where immediately police comes to arrest the management people and all that. All these things happen. And so what happens because this? It entails costs and huge costs, not small costs. So there are liability insurance policies which provide coverage for such incidents also. So, because I'm in a school, I'm giving this example. So this is relevant for any kind of organization, even a commercial organization which is in business, a factory, a trading house, whatever, they also can buy these kind of covers and protect themselves. At the end of the day, you have to be protected because this is going to bring in a lot of financial liability. I hope that answers your question. For greater clarity, become an insurance professional. Which grade are you in? So that's the right time to plan an insurance career.
So sometimes it takes years to get insurance claims. So what are your thoughts on it?
I will tell you the situation of the industry. In health insurance and motor insurance, we are seamless. More or less, we are seamless. Health insurance claims you get on cashless basis. Motor insurance claim also, it is more or less on cashless. You don't have to pay the money from your pocket. Only in the event you have got hospitalized a non-network hospital and the insurance company is unable to reach out and provide the cashless thing, you have to pay and claim reimbursement. So it is very seamless. Now, where does your claim get stuck? I will speak about health insurance, motor and life insurance. In these three areas, your claim will only get stuck when you have done wrong declaration. See, insurance is a contract. One of the concepts of insurance contract is utmost good faith. When you go to a departmental store to buy a product, you see the product, manufacturing date, expiry date, maybe some products you can feel, smell. You will decide whether you want to buy it or no. So there's a lot of information available for you. But insurance company is issuing a policy based on the declaration that you are giving it to them. They're not getting into the depth of it. They're only in certain cases, like if you're buying health insurance and your age is above 45 or 50, of course the insurance company will ensure that a health checkup is being done so that your declarations and your actual health report match and so on and so forth. Otherwise, when you're younger at age, what you declare, that is accepted by insurance company, that you have declared in good faith and there is no wrong declaration. If you have done a wrong declaration and a claim is reported, that is the time when your claim will get stuck and claim will get rejected and get into litigation. This is as far as life, motor and health is concerned. It's very seamless. Life is very, very simple. Because you get a life claim only when you die. You don't get a life claim when you are alive, or only if it's a maturity of the policy if you've invested. Coming to commercial insurance claims, yes, there is a problem in commercial insurance claims when it takes time. Why it takes time is because there are a lot of factors to it. Again, in a commercial insurance policy, whether it is a property insurance cover or liability insurance cover, it is dependent on a lot of external factors. You are giving a declaration and taking a policy today. Nobody is checking what it is. So assuming you're a manufacturing unit, you've taken 100 crore policy for your building, plant and machinery and everything. What you have declared in your request for quotation, either directly or through your agent or a broker, based on the policy has been issued to you in good faith. Insurance companies relying on what declaration you have got. They're not coming and investigating anything. All this investigation happens when a claim is reported. That's the reason I said that our gratification of our product is when there is death, disaster, disease, despair, right? So in commercial insurance claims, yes, sometimes it is found out that what has been claimed and what is the actual related, there is a huge gap in that. So those areas, there is some delay in settlement and everything. Industry is working on it to ensure it's become smooth and thing, but yeah, there are issues over there. Other life, health and motor, it is very seamless, provided declarations are correct.
Example, we bought an insurance today, and the next month we get injured, right? So would the compensation would be only based on the amount we paid, like during the month, or would it be given like by the insurance company?
You have taken a health insurance policy for say 5 lakh. Okay, 5 lakh rupees is the sum insured of the policy that you have taken. Today you took the policy, next month you fall sick. So in a health insurance policy, if you take a policy today, and today only I meet with an accident, once the policy is issued, it is covered. Insurance company cannot deny claim to me. But what happens practically, because a close proximity claim, there will be some investigation that the insurance company will do. If they find everything in order, they will pay the claim to you. For sickness and ailments, there is a 30-day waiting period. That's the construct of a health insurance product. So there will be 30-day waiting period. If within 30 days you fall sick, then it will not be paid. But post 30 days you fall sick, it will be paid through a cashless mechanism. In health insurance, you always have to choose cashless. Don't even think about paying and claiming reimbursement, because that process is in place, that infrastructure is in place, and we have got insurance companies which have tied up with more than 35,000 hospitals in the country. So anywhere you go, even you go to rural part of India also, I'm sure hospital is part of the cashless ecosystem. So you will get it. Yeah.
Someone gets injured and receives compensation for it, does the insurance end or does it continue?
Yeah, so if a personal accident happens and if I got a permanent disability, then yes, my policy will continue, but my compensation to that permanent disability will end. I'll get the compensation and it'll end over there. In case I get and meet with another accident and there's another permanent disability, then I get a separate compensation for that. But it will not end that way. In critical illness, if I buy a critical illness health policy and assuming that I have been diagnosed with liver issues, all right, and I do the survival period of 90 days or whatever his policy is, I get my compensation, then my policy comes to an end. It will not cover me further. For liver, maybe insurance company decides to give me critical illness cover for any other ailment, but for liver they will not give me again.
Sir, if someone purchases a term life insurance and he dies within 2 days of purchasing that insurance, or if someone purchases a third-party insurance for the car and the accident happens immediately after purchasing the insurance, so will they claim the insurance? Like, will they get a claim?
Yeah, so what you are talking about is close proximity. See, I bought a term insurance policy today and within 2 days I died. Okay, so obviously my family will seek compensation under the policy. What the insurance company is going to do, they are going to investigate this thoroughly because it's a very close proximity issue. Similarly, for a vehicle insurance, if you have bought, wherein today you have taken delivery of car today and the next day only accident has happened, the damage to your car also and the third party involved. Because it's a close proximity issue, there is going to be thorough investigation done. And if everything is above board, there is no wrongdoing in terms of wrong declaration, wrong information, everything, the claim will definitely be paid. That's the reason they do. In life insurance also, not only the life insurance policies, when you take high value covers specifically, so what in high value covers, two things life insurance companies do. A, they do your health underwriting. B, in case your claim comes within the first 2 years of your policy, it's considered as close proximity and they will do investigation. Because there are many cases of fraud detected in insurance claims. People buy policies and then people are alive, but they produce fraudulent death certificates and try to make claims. So all this is also, detection of fraud and minimization of fraud also is a very important part of the insurance system. Yeah.
Sir, you mentioned how there were many sexual harassment claims, but you mentioned that the compensation has to be paid. Now, sir, due to vicarious liability under tort law, will the management will have to pay that compensation, or will the person committing the act have to pay that compensation considering they committed the act in the first place?
If you have a liability insurance policy in place in which there is employee practices, this particular thing is covered under employee practices. If that policy is in place, then the insurance company will pay the compensation.
All right, sir.
Yeah. If it is not in place and it is determined by the court of law and they are held guilty, then the individual concerned has to make good. So a classic case about this is the Infosys Fanish Murthy case. You can Google Infosys Fanish Murthy. When he was in US also, there were sexual harassment cases against him and the insurance companies settled that out of court. When he was in India also, part of another entity which he came out of Infosys and started, he had a claim and that was, this is a case study for the insurance industry, insurance sector. Fanish Murthy, Infosys.
So, sir, the insurance company will be paying from behalf of the management of the institution?
Yes, behalf of the management, individual organization to the aggrieved party.
Person.
What is the difference between an actuary and a risk analyst, as they both work with statistics and analyze the risk and the market?
Actuary is more to do with statistical data analysis and advising the insurance company how to price the product. So a lot of actuarial underwriting, underwriter will consult the actuary, do historical data analysis and everything, basis that the insurance company will arrive on its pricing of product. Risk analyst is more on the understanding of the risk. Okay, various kinds of risks are there. So understanding that risk and updating the various stakeholders within the insurance ecosystem where potential for insurance penetration is there and we can go and offer insurance products to them, so on and so forth.
Insurance company is a company only, it's not a charitable organization.
Yes.
And it needs profit. And sir, it will, unfortunately or fortunately, it will only earn profits if there are lesser claims. So, like, what are the techniques that insurance company use to lessen the claims, like reduce that there are less claims?
Very good. Everybody is for profit, nobody is doing, and more so in the private sector. Private and well public sector also. Today, everybody is driven by profits. So in insurance, there is concept of reinsurance, which I said earlier. What insurance company does, it's not possible for insurance company to underwrite hundreds and thousands of crores of risks, and if a catastrophe strikes, honor all the claims, because it is going to have a bearing on its balance sheet and profit and loss account. So there is an ecosystem in global and local of reinsuring the risk. So insurance company will retain a certain portion on its books, and this reinsure in the domestic and international reinsurance market. So we have got General Insurance Corporation of India, which is the national reinsurance company of India. And then we have got international Swiss Re, Munich Re, the Lloyd's Syndicate, and like this there are many, AXA Re, Allianz Re, there are big names who are all reinsurance companies who provide the necessary support. So fundamentally, what is insurance all about? Insurance is a concept of pooling of risks. Hundreds, thousands of people, millions of people will pool in the risks in one basket, and a small portion of people make claims. That's what it is. And it has got its own, sustenance level. Beyond a certain point, I'm sure they will go to government for thing. So if you are savvy about knowing that, you should do research on the AIG group, American Insurance Group, how they suffered losses in the US subprime crisis in 2008. That's a very good case study to understand, and they were bailed out by the US government.
The question is, sir, let's say there are two cars, A and B, that got into an accident. The driver of car B died. Now, the driver of car B had a life insurance, and the owner of car A had a third-party claim. Now, in two different companies. Now, which company would pay the compensation to the family of the victim?
Both are two different products. I have a life insurance cover for myself, and if I die, my life insurance company has to pay the compensation to my family. I am driving my car on the road, your car comes and hits me, and I die in the accident. I or my family members are entitled for third-party liability compensation on your motor insurance policy. My car is damaged, so even the damages to my car can be claimed from your motor insurance policy under the third-party property damage segment. So both are independent and both will be paid. My life insurance policy settlement will happen quickly, but the third-party liability will take time because it's through a process court of law. Generally, it takes 5-6 years in India to get a motor accident claim through court. It takes 4-5 years.
There are many big companies who make false accusations. So they have to give compensation. Like there was a big case of Red Bull that had its tagline that Red Bull gives you wings. So a man filed a case saying that I don't have wings and I want a compensation on that. So does the insurance company cover that?
If I drink Red Bull and think I'll get wings, that's my hallucination. Okay, I cannot. There is difference between practicality, reality, and being in your dream world, But what you are highlighting, some such cases have come in the US market, People are under the impression of they, use certain products and services based on the advertisements that has been done. In India, we have not come across something, and if the case that you're citing to, we don't know if the court has given a verdict for that. We'll have to study and research that and come back. You want to answer?
जैसे कि सर ने अभी बताया ना कि इंश्योरेंस एक ऐसा फील्ड है आने वाले दिनों में कि आप लोग बाय प्रोफेशन बहुत कुछ कर सकते हो, ठीक है? तो आप सब लोग यूट्यूब में पूरा वीडियो देखते हो, शॉर्ट्स देखते हो या रील देखते हो? इस समय सबसे ज़्यादा क्या चल रहा है? शॉर्ट्स, सबसे ज़्यादा शॉर्ट्स. तो मैं आपको ना शॉर्ट्स में चीज़ें बताऊंगा जो आपको समझ में आएंगी. तो सबसे पहला है कि इंश्योरेंस एक ऐसी चीज़ है, एक नोबेल कॉज है, ठीक है? और आप तब उनके साथ खड़े रहते हो जब वो प्रॉब्लम्स में होते हैं. ठीक है, आपने प्रीमियम पे किया एक एग्जाम्पल के तौर पे अपना हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस का 25,000 का, ठीक है, और उसमें आपको कवरेज मिलती है 10 लाख रुपए की। ऐसा कोई रिलेटिव है जिसको आप 25,000 रुपये दें और 10 लाख रुपए वो देगा? कोई भाई, मौसा जी, फूफा जी, कोई ऐसा है? तो कहने का मतलब ये है ना कि आप इम्पोर्टेंस समझो। मैं बहुत सारी चीज़ें सुन रहा था सबके, तो बहुत सारे मिथ्स हैं। एक मिथ आया कि इंश्योरेंस कंपनी क्लेम्स नहीं देती है। मतलब ये जो बीमा है ना, शुद्ध हिंदी में, कि क्लेम्स मिलते नहीं हैं। बट जैसे आप सब यंग जनरेशन हो ना, अगर आपने प्रॉपर डॉक्यूमेंटेशन किया है और विद इन द टाइम लिमिट किया है, ऐसा कोई इंश्योरेंस कंपनी नहीं है जो आपको पे ना करे। तो आप लोग यंग जनरेशन हो, तो मुझे क्लियर करना जरूरी है कि इंश्योरेंस कितना इंपॉर्टेंस है और इसकी वैल्यू है, ठीक है। तो इसको बहुत सारे लोग, आप जब जाओगे ना, आपके घर में भी इंश्योरेंस एडवाइज़र आते होंगे, समझाते होंगे, तो क्या जब वो चले जाते होंगे ना, ये सब ऐसे ही पीछे पड़ जाते, मिलता कुछ नहीं है, ठीक है ना। तो इंश्योरेंस एक कैरियर के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। एक क्वेश्चन आया था एक्चुरियल एंड रिस्क मैनेजमेंट, आपने शायद पूछा था मैम, ठीक है। तो मैं इसको लेमैन में समझाता हूँ आपको। जो रिस्क मैनेजमेंट है वो फील्ड ऑफिसर है, मतलब वो फील्ड पे जाके चीज़ें देखता है, और जो एक्चुरियल है वो डेटा बेस काम करता है एक्सेल पे। वो पूरी हिस्ट्री को पढ़ता है, देखता है कि यार 100 कारें आई थी, ठीक है, महिंद्रा बुलेरो आई थी और बुलेरो में ज़्यादा क्लेम आ रहे हैं, तो इसके रेट बढ़ा दो या तो नहीं करो, ठीक है। और ये डेटा कौन प्रोवाइड कराता है? जो फील्ड पे जाके सर्वे करता है गाड़ी का। तो ये आपका है। और विंग्स वाला तो नहीं होगा इंश्योरेंस में कवर, जो रेड बुल वाला क्वेश्चन था।
In the court of law, they take a very important thing into factor, which is something what a reasonable man can see. And this idea of growing wings after having Red Bull is not reasonable at all. Therefore, the court will totally ignore this. They cannot possibly allow compensation to be paid because this is not a reasonable fact which one expects after having Red Bull.
तो एक और कुछ ऐड करना चाहूँगा आप लोग के साथ ना, कि फाइनेंशियल फ्री कौन कौन होना चाहता है कोई यहाँ पे? फाइनेंशियल फ्री, 40 की एज में कोई काम नहीं करना, कोई जॉब नहीं करनी मेरे को। चलो इतने लोग फाइनेंशियल फ्री होना चाहते हैं, और कई लोग हैं जो 60 साल तक काम करना चाहते हैं। वैसे मैं बता दूं, जो आजकल का ट्रेंड चल रहा है ना, 40 साल बाद कोई काम नहीं कर रहा है। जितने भी यूट्यूबर हैं, जितने भी इन्फ्लुएंसर हैं, जितने भी ट्रेडर्स हैं, कोई भी 40 साल के बाद काम नहीं कर रहा है, ठीक है। तो आप सबको मैं एक एवरेज मान के चलता हूँ, आपका 22 ईयर्स के हो गए या 20s में हो गया अभी सब लोग, ठीक है ना?
नहीं कम है,
इससे भी कम हो,
हाँ 16-17
सब तो और ज़्यादा पैसे बना सकते हो आप लोग। तो आप सबसे ये रिक्वेस्ट है, ये सब लोग नोट डाउन कर लो आप लोग, ठीक है ना। जिसकी जैसे ही जॉब लगेगी, जिसकी जैसे ही जॉब लगेगी, ठीक है ना, वो 5,000 के SIP स्टार्ट करेगा। जिसकी जैसे ही जॉब लगेगी वो 5,000 के SIP चालू करेगा। मैं एश्योर करता हूं कि जब आप 50s में होगे ना, तो आप फाइनेंशियल फ्री होगे। आप सबके पेरेंट्स काम कर रहे होंगे 50s में, आप लोग नहीं करोगे। सबके पास 4 करोड़ का कॉर्पस होगा 5,000 के डिपॉजिट पे, और अगर आपके पैकेजेस ज्यादा हैं।
डिबेटेबल सर, क्यों काम करना छोड़ना नहीं चाहिए आदमी को, वो गलत, आई डोंट बिलीव इन दैट, यू हैव टू वर्क। नहीं डोंट मिस्टेक, सॉरी। मेरा कहने का मतलब ये है, आप 5,000 का SIP आप चालू करोगे आज, ये लोग अभी क्या 16-17 साल के बच्चे हैं, और ये लोग आप बोल रहे हो 50 तक करोगे, और इनके 4-5 करोड़ रुपए तब आ जाएगा। इन्फ्लेशन
सर, इन्फ्लेशन आएगा, लेकिन आपकी जो म्यूचुअल फंड की वैल्यू होगी, मैं आपको क्या बता रहा हूँ, मैं काम करने के लिए नहीं रुक रहा हूँ मैं। अगर आप 5 करोड़ का कॉर्पस है आपके पास, आप लोन्स में मत लो। मेरा सजेशन ये है कि आप इनिशियली आप बाइक्स में मत एक्सपेंसेस करो, आप मोबाइल से मत एक्सपेंस करो।
As soon as you get into your jobs and careers, should start the habit of saving. That is most important.
मेरा मैसेज ये था।
Savings is most important, and then of course some people have got this concept of that, okay, I don't want to work after 40-45, I want to golf and do world tour and everything. Fair enough, If you have saved that kind of money and you want to do that, pursue your passion, please do, no problem in that. But my personal belief is that work until the last breath. Don't stop working.
I had a question.
Yeah, sure.
If we get a health insurance and the person after that develops an ailment that requires continuous treatment, like after a particular number of days, there is treatment required. So will the insurance company pay the compensation for all those treatments?
Yes. If you have taken a health insurance policy today and you're in good health, it has been declared, and there is no wrong declaration given, and after that you have diagnosed with any ailment which require continuous treatment, the insurance company cannot deny the claim, they have to pay. A classic example of what I given is people who suffer with kidney issues and they have to undergo dialysis. So dialysis is a weekly activity. And if I have taken a health insurance policy with good health and this issue comes to me, my insurance company cannot deny renewing my policy because claims have been made, plus they cannot deny these claims to me.
Sir, considering an example of health insurance company, it is between the insurance company and an individual. So if something happens to a person, in that case, the payment is being done by the insurance company. So in certain cases like these, what is the profit being earned by the health insurance companies?
Specifically on your policy, insurance company not making a profit, no? You would have paid 25,000 rupees premium and taken a 10 lakh cover. You would have fallen sick and taken a hospitalization, 2.5 lakh or 3 lakh rupees, the insurance company would have paid. So on your policy, the insurance company is at loss. But like you, 10 lakh people have taken insurance policies. Out of that, maybe only 3, 5 or 10% of people make claims. So the aggregate of that, on that, the insurance company makes profit. So on individual, obviously, it doesn't make sense. Right? It never makes sense.
Celebrities are getting insured. For example, Lionel Messi, we all know, has insured his left leg for $900 million.
His club has insured him, not he. Okay,
Sir,
go ahead. Yeah.
So, and a hand model in Hollywood has insured her hands for $1 million for each hand. So, on what base they are getting insured? Like they play good, or they are good for advertisement, or for what context they are getting insured this much high price?
Lionel Messi getting his leg insured for 900 million. I mean, of course his leg is insured, but it's being done with the club for which he's playing, and there is so much of money behind him. If he does not come to play one season, the anticipation is that there's going to be so much of footfall or ticket revenue loss and advertisement revenue loss that will happen. So, basis on that, this value has been given to him. And then, when he's been bought by that club, he's been paid a professional fee, or if he's been transferred from club A to club B, there is a transaction that is happening and a value that is being paid by amongst each other. So many other considerations go into providing that cover. Similarly, for health celebrities also, if somebody is insured their hand, maybe that's very vital part of their profession in whichever industry they're doing it. So if their hand is damaged, then there'll be loss of revenue for them, and the contracts that they have signed and the organizations who are depending upon their shows, whether it is sitcoms, whether it is live shows, whether it is movies or whatever it is, so they all get disrupted. So to cover those losses, the insurance company gives this thing. So we had the opportunity to give insurance cover to Ustad Zakir Hussain once, to insure his fingers, long ago. I got that policy done once.
Sir, what happens to the health insurance and the paying of bills in ailments like cancer, and unfortunately, at the patient's demise, what happens to the compensations?
So as we discussed earlier, health insurance is an indemnity policy. What indemnity means? It makes good financial losses. So I am of good health, I have a health insurance policy with me, and I am diagnosed with cancer. So I get hospitalized. So when I get hospitalized, my immediate thing is my hospitalization expenses, which my health insurance policy will pay up to the limit that I have got. I may have a 10 lakh rupees cover. So up to 10 lakhs my policy will pay. Now, during the course of my treatment, I die. And I have paid some monies, I'm not taken cashless treatment. I have paid money from my pocket. So that money, what I have paid, my nominee can claim as reimbursement of expenses.
So after the death, if unfortunately the patient dies.
Pardon me?
If unfortunately the patient dies,
Yeah.
then after that.
After that, yes. One. Second point is, as I said, there is a critical illness policy which gives coverage for specific critical illness. Cancer is a critical illness. So that policy, if I have taken that policy, there is a something known as survival period. From the date I am diagnosed with cancer, some companies give 90 days survival. If I survive the 90 days, then the entire lump sum is paid to me. That way. And life insurance, any given case, has to pay. Whether I die because of natural death or of ailment or of accident, whatever, they have to pay the compensation.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, I wanted to ask that if, let's say, I'm driving a car and another person who is also driving a car unlawfully without following traffic rules crashes into my car and he unfortunately loses his life. So without me being at fault, would I still have to claim third-person compensation, and will there be an investigation about the same?
Certainly, every accident will have an investigation, or that's the what the police will do. Then there is something called as an insurance policy is no fault liability. So up to 50,000 rupees, I think, in the motor policy it is provided for. Then, as you mentioned that I have violated traffic rules, I have broken the law and everything, and this incident has happened. This will be determined in the court of law. Primarily, the insurance company will pay the compensation. And later on, if the insurance company litigates that, no, my policy holder violated the law, and this claim, though I have honored the claim to the affected party, the insurance company can always recover that from me. So many cases when there is drunken driving, or I don't have a license itself, minor driving the car and all that stuff, like one which happened in Pune last year, the Rolls-Royce issue. So all those claims will not be paid by insurance company. They will be claimed from. Generally what the courts say that they ask the insurance company to pay the money to the affected party and then ask them to recover it from the person who's violated the law.
So my question was that with life insurance policy, what will happen in the case of suicide?
Life insurance covering suicide also in the first year. In some insurance companies, suicide is an exclusion in the initial 2 or 3 years. That is there. But don't get educated so much on. But yeah, insurance companies do pay. If you're part of an organization, they have a group term insurance cover provided by the organization. In those cases also, unfortunate if the employee has committed suicide, the claim is paid.
Sir, as you said that Amitabh Bachchan has taken an insurance for his voice box.
Not voice box, his throat. Okay.
For example, larynx, from where the voice comes. So, like after his death, when the organ is donated to someone, the organ is still insured or not?
See, he has taken a cover so that people don't unlawfully use his voice, because his voice has got a commercial value. He is extending it for advertisement, he is extending it for movies, for various things out of which he is earning money. If some person impersonates his voice, and gives it to a commercial organization who advertises its product or service, that Amitabh is one who is doing it. So there is loss to Amitabh Bachchan. His revenue is affected. So that is what is going to happen. If his organ is donated and all, there is no insurance company not going to pay any compensation for that.
Sir, I had a follow-up question. So let's say that two people have matching voices. For example, people look alike. So what if two people have matching voices? So considering that one person has his voice insured, wouldn't that be a loss to the other person?
That's a tricky, then the courts of the law have to decide that. I don't have an immediate answer for that, I have not come across anything like that. They will be taking, when they are doing the entities and organizations who are giving them the platform to do, they will be taking permission from the respective artists, the original artists and everything. So there is a contractual ecosystem over there. They do, otherwise there is copyright issue, there is all that will be there, yeah.
So what if I am paying 4 insurance companies and after 5 years I meet an accident? So will all 4 of them be paying equally, or is there some process or some proportion?
It has to be seen in context of which insurance policy. You can have 4 life insurance policies from 4 different companies. In case the person having those many policies dies, all the 4 insurance companies have to pay compensation. They cannot deny. But in life insurance, there is concept of giving insurance cover based on your income. You just cannot take unlimited life insurance cover. When I have a life insurance cover with say I have a life insurance policy with LIC for 10 lakh rupees. I want to take a life insurance policy from ICICI Prudential for another 10 lakh rupees. In the proposal form of ICICI Prudential, they will ask me, do I have any other life insurance policy? I have to declare that. And then they will ask me, what is my source of income? How much of, what is my annual income? And there's only a certain multiple to which life insurance cover is made available. It's not that I'm earning 50 lakh rupees per annum and I can buy 100 crore life insurance. No, it doesn't work that way. Max, I can buy 10 or 15 times of my annual income as life insurance cover, not beyond that. So and if I have got policies, all insurance companies have to pay. Coming to health insurance, if you've got 4 different health insurance policies, first of all, that is not a prudent thing to do. But still, hypothetically, you've got 4 health insurance policies. There is a concept of contribution in insurance. And again, when you're buying health insurance, you need to declare if you've got an alternate health insurance cover. So each insurance company will contribute proportionately to that because those are indemnity products. They're not benefit-based product. So they'll contribute proportionately to the claim. Yeah. Thank you very much. Nice speaking to all of you.
I would like to extend a heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guests for conducting today's workshop on financial literacy. We are incredibly fortunate to have the opportunity to explore key concepts such as risk management, insurance policies, investment, and potential career options in the field. I'm sure everyone was delighted after imagining their future 5 crore corpus.
This session was essential for helping our students make informed financial decisions as they grow up. Empowering students to navigate the often complex financial world is a necessity. We are truly enlightened by such useful and practical knowledge about an almost unrecognized field. We are extremely grateful for your time, sir. Thank you.